Hey Crafty, what's up? Welcome back to another amazing episode of Mine Tip Top. I am back with another lit video and I'm sure you'll enjoy this. So guys, in this amazing episode, we are going to top 10 things you didn't know about villagers. Are you guys excited for this amazing video? Before we begin, make sure you like and subscribe to our channel. We bring you the latest news and updates in the Minecraft gaming world. The humble Minecraft villager is one of the most important features of modern Minecraft. But you might not have realized this if you haven't paid attention to them recently. Gone are the days where they simply wandered around and got in your way. They are now incredibly useful, and you can take advantage of this if you know how. If only there was a Minecraft villager guide to show you the way. What is a Minecraft villager? Villagers are neutral mobs in Minecraft that serve a variety of purposes. Taller than the player when fully grown, villagers tend to be found in the villages that spawn when the world is generated. They can fall in love with one another, have kids, get jobs, and can be traded with by the player. Several other mobs in-game, like illagers and witches, can be considered offshoots of villagers due to using the same model as the base. But they aren't true villagers as they are hostile mobs with their own mechanics. One variation that can be lumped in with regular villagers is the zombie villager, because they can be cured of their affliction by applying weakness to them and feeding them a golden apple. What do villagers do? Villagers start off with no job and will tend to wander around until they find a purpose in life. That purpose tends to be a profession of some sort. You can influence these professions by placing specific blocks down. If an unemployed villager comes across one, they'll claim that job as their job site and change into a different outfit. The blocks that are required for these jobs are as follows: blast furnace, armorer; smoker, butcher; cartography table, cartographer; brewing stand, cleric; composter, farmer; barrel, fisherman; fletching table, fletcher; lectern, librarian; stone cutter, mason; loom, shepherd; smithing table, toolsmith; grindstone, weaponsmith. Each profession will give the villager a new set of items to trade for. If you're willing to spend some time developing a village, this makes acquiring certain materials much easier than searching for them in the world. The quality of a villager's trade improves as they get better at the profession too, so it pays to keep an eye on them. How to breed Minecraft villagers. This bit is a little creepy, but you wanted to know everything, so here we go. You can breed the villagers in order to increase the population of a village, allowing for more professions and therefore more trades. Villagers will breed on their own anyway, so you don't necessarily have to play Cupid. But if you want to speed up the process, you start by making sure they have enough food, as a full stomach puts a villager in the mood for love. A villager will be sated by 3 bread, 12 carrots, 12 potatoes, or 12 beetroots. You need to do this with 2 villagers to put them both in the mood, as well as ensuring they're in close proximity with one another. Finally, you need to provide them with a bed each, as well as a spare bed for the incoming baby. In this way, you can set up entire breeding factories if you want. Minecraft is a weird game sometimes. While exploring in Minecraft, the player will sometimes come across villages and their inhabitants. There are variations of these towns in a few different biomes, but they all contain the same core elements: villagers, houses, and loot. At first glance, it may be a bit confusing to figure out how to make the most of village encounters. Thankfully, since Minecraft's release in 2009, many diligent blockheads have experimented with different variables and methods to find out how to maximize the benefits of interacting with a village and with villagers. Despite some wonky layouts on occasion and silly AI occurrences, there are lots that can be done with these places if someone has the required knowledge. Number 10. Villages were meant to grow. According to Jens Bergensten, lead creative designer at Mojang, villages were supposed to increase in population if the player made improvements and additions to the town. Unfortunately, the developers found that this would take up too much of the game's thinking power, as constituting what a house was proved difficult. However, there are likely mods that do this. In the last decade since the game's release, there have been mods for almost everything one could want. Number 9. The inspiration for villagers. Villagers were actually inspired by the shopkeepers from a game called Dungeon Master 2, which was released on multiple systems in the early 1990s. It was a dungeon crawler with which Minecraft shares quite a few similarities besides the villagers' aesthetic. Minecraft is legendary because it does a few things extremely well, but it wouldn't even exist if not for the Dungeon Master games as well as similar ones. Number 8. Grand columns spawn in their houses. The end is not the only place with huge pillars. To avoid the issue of overhanging, which is when a building or part of a village spawns in the air with a big gap under it, the house will create dirt blocks below its floor and for every empty space beneath it until it hits something solid. If this happens over a big open area like a ravine, a massive column of dirt would spawn to support the house. Number 7. Pigmen were meant to be villagers. The overworld villagers fans know today are the honking fellows with large noses, but this was not always the plan. According to Notch himself on Twitter, pigmen, similar to those that inhabit the Nether, were initially supposed to be villagers. Hopefully, they were planned to be alive and unarmed instead of the potentially violent, decaying forms they possess in the realm of ghasts and lava. Number 6. Lonely villagers can spawn. Villages don't always spawn as a group of houses. Sometimes only a single house spawns with one lone villager, due to the variables in the game's coding. On occasion, the extremes will be chosen by the RNG, which will result in very few or very large amounts of houses spawning. Some see this as sad, but it is possible that this villager enjoys the peace only solitude can bring, living the life of a hermit. Number 5. Villagers can run faster than the player. Normally, villagers move at a slow to moderate pace when going about their various tasks, but when the night falls, they rush indoors quicker than the player can ever move. These simple folk do not possess any weapons or armor to protect themselves with, so if their village's defenses aren't enough to keep away threats, their only option for survival is to escape whatever foul beasts approach their home. This almost unnaturally swift movement is likely intentional and a means to allow villagers to live just a bit longer in the sometimes cruel world of Minecraft. Number 4. Farmers are better than most players at farming. Farmers are some of the most hardworking villagers one will find. They tend their fields all day, making sure that their crops grow big and strong. They will actively use bone meal on plants to speed their growth and will put spare seeds into composters as well. Their AI is even sophisticated enough to recognize and pick up these items if they come across any that are just laying about. Number 3. Villagers can sleep in boats. If a villager's bed is close, but they are in a boat, they can lie down and rest in the wooden vessel. This looks a bit creepy, almost as if they are laying in an open coffin. But it can be comical as well. Sometimes when this occurs, parts of the villager's body will clip through the boat or their body will contort into odd positions. It is possible that this is due to villagers having no proper animation for sitting in a boat like the player does, so they either stand up straight or lay down. Number 2. Villager skins show greater detail. There are now proper jungle and swamp villagers, complete with detailed new villager clothes. Jungle villagers look like they are supposed to be wearing some sort of animal pelt clothing. The yellow and brown makes it look like it meant to be ocelot fur. They also seem to have a green belt made from a vine. The swamp villagers are covered in moss and wear lily pads on their heads, both types having charming designs that can go unnoticed if the player is in a hurry. Number 1. Ravagers destroy crops. These tough foes are not only challenging for the player to deal with, but they can also cause issues for the villages and villagers. They have the ability to destroy crops and severely hurt villagers to the point where it can outright kill them. Furthermore, this aggressive mob spawns during raids, the worst time for them to show up. They are even bold enough to take on iron golems. These beasts, combined with pillagers, are usually the end for most villages. So guys, this is all about today's video. Share as much as you can, it really motivates us to create more content for you guys. With this, we end our video. Hope you liked the video. Do hit the like button down there. Comment down your views and do share with more of your friends. See ya. Take care. Bye guys.